what happens when we state how we are, when we state where we are. And there's a lot of really good stuff that happens when we state where we are. And so when we state where we are, we actually become present. And when we are present, we're not in the future. And even if we are in rumination, we are now more present. And it might be for a millisecond, but in the present, there is truth, because now you know where you are. There is a sense of relief. It might be for a mini millisecond, right? But we're not in resistance. And resistance has so much of the dis-ease in it that we are running from. And so taking a moment and saying, oh, I am feeling awful, my heart, and I recommend tapping as we tell ourselves where we are. But my heart feels like it's about to burst. My head hurts. I feel whatever it might be. I feel left out, unwanted, disturbed, unhappy, whatever that is. I feel like it's never going to get better. I feel, and you just go through and state where you are. Because when you state where you are, a beautiful thing happens. It's like the flight, fight, or freeze mechanism is triggered. And that trigger always includes danger, always includes a feeling of a lack of safety. There are few things that are more disturbing for our psyche, our identity, than feeling lost, than feeling like we don't know. The surviving self, which physiologically is like the brainstem and the amygdala, the surviving self doesn't dislike, it is terrified of what it doesn't know. And so not knowing, on top of whatever other fears we've got going on, is terrifying. It's not disturbing. It's not disturbing. It's terrifying. And stating, I am terrified, is as powerful as saying, oh, I'm sitting in my chair. Because it's where we are. And in the midst of terror, it helps to have a second of feeling like you know where you are. And then wherever you are feeling the stuff, wherever you're feeling it, if it's in your belly, if it's in your heart, if it's in the, your neck or your head, wherever, just placing your hands there. Now, is it really about placing your hands? I don't know, because I always use my hands. But what it really is about is, again, being present as opposed to running. Giving yourself love as opposed to leaving yourself in terror. It is a way of being with yourself. And if we can state where we are, then those are moments of calm, moments of self-acceptance, even though we may not be interpreting them as such, and moments of care. And the really important piece, like the super important piece is, yes, I'm feeling terror, I'm feeling alone, I'm feeling lost, I'm feeling whatever. And I ask to deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. That's the peace. And I ask to deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. And I ask to deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. It may not change immediately. And here's why. And it's so important to do it. And it's so important to not judge how fast it changes or doesn't change. Because there are pathways that have already been ignited by the terror. And those pathways are far more practiced, far more immediate and dialed in and rooted. And they take you out of your ability to think at all. They literally fire up and knock out reason. Reason gets completely and utterly used by the old pathways and the terror. You can't think straight. It's not you not being smart. It's not you being against yourself. That's what happens to us when the trigger runs up and feels like it has got to run, and everything it does not need gets shut down. And you don't need creative or critical thinking when you're running. And with that as a reality, we have to start to, I'm going to call it prime the pump, so that the neurons of another truth, the neurons of your ability to be present, the neurons of new action have a chance to build. And as the neurons build out, you are wiring and firing, putting them together, and they are building and becoming strong enough to one day override that habit. And you've seen it happen 1,000 times, maybe not where your trigger is concerned, but where learning is concerned. You just can't get it. You just can't get it. You don't understand it. You just can't get it. And then all of a sudden, it drops in. Oh, now I see. Now I understand. Okay, I've heard this 1,000 times. I heard it 1,000 times. But on that 1,001 time, it drops in because the neurons have been strengthened to the point of being able to override the blackout.
I hope you found value in that video. And if you did, would you do me a favor and subscribe? And share the channel with other people in your life so that we can bring you more information in better ways. I thank you for being a part of this journey, and I hope that it's a long ride. I'm loving you.